What's up, everybody? This is BakaBites. I am Frankfurter. That is Magically Average. And today, we're here to do the final bout, kind of do the last check-in of the Demon Slayer movie versus the Chainsaw Man movie. Now, a few weeks ago, we discussed the fact of what we thought about the Demon Slayer movie and how we thought it would kind of stack up compared to the Chainsaw Man movie. And now that both movies are out and we've seen both, if you want our thoughts on the Chainsaw Man movie without spoilers, go look at our video that we just released today. Otherwise, this is going to be kind of a spoiler cast of both movies and just a comparison of what we liked better and which, and just breaking it down further into detail. So without further ado, I definitely like the Chainsaw Man movie better. It's not
No.
necessarily because, yeah, right? It's not necessarily because I do enjoy Chainsaw Man more than I do Demon Slayer, but I think as a total presentation, no, just everything about it really, I enjoyed better. The pacing is
Yeah.
better because obviously it's the one singular arc that is condensed or like long enough for a movie that can fit a movie. While Demon Slayer, while it is going to be split up into 3 movies, and they did a good job of fitting part of the arc and making it feel fluid, it also felt obviously incomplete because it is incomplete. And so it still begs the question of, like, I understand why the fuck they made the movie. They did it because money. But like it still begs the question, why the fuck did Demon Slayer do 3 movies to end its series? Like it's so aggravating.
Because they
I
can
know.
take their sweet time over the next 5 years now to put out the remaining 2 to wrap it all up.
But like imagine if My Hero Academia this final season was split up into 3 movies. That'd be just so irksome. It would just be awful. And
Frank,
yet here we are with Demon Slayer. It's doing that, but because it's Demon Slayer and it's made millions and millions of dollars, it's like, hey, let's just do movies.
let me take you back to a time in the early part of 2021.
Oh boy.
Okay?
Okay.
A little show from an indie studio by the name of Attack on Titan, made by MAPPA, came out with season 4 in January of 2021. Would you like to know when season 4 officially ended?
Last year.
Which was January 2020. January 2021 was when it started. January 2024 was when it ended. It took.
No, it was October.
Was it October? Oh, okay.
Yeah, because the first part of the final movie remix deluxe edition came out in like March or April, and then the last part came out in like October or September.
I was
something
reviewing
like
it
that.
with Drew. Whatever. I calculated out with Drew. I calculated with Drew. It's 3 years. It took 3 years for all of season 4 to finish. And you might say, well, Magically Average.
It wasn't 2024. So it started December 2020, ended November 2023. So we were both wrong. Anyways.
It did?
Yes.
It
started
Crunchyroll
like during the Crunchyroll. When is Crunchyroll? That's a whole different podcast of just Crunchyroll being fuck ups recently. But that's neither here nor there.
We're not doing that right now because I suspect it's a licensing thing and people are also just being very dramatic about it. It is sucky, but
oh yeah, but it is what it is.
I gotta look at this again because I reviewed it with no, you are wrong. The first episode of season 4 aired January 10th, 2021. That is what Crunchyroll says.
I'm showing.
And then the last
December
episode,
7th, 2020.
Shh. The last episode was the season 4, the special episode, Attack on Titan, final season, final chapter, special 2, aired January 8th, 2024. So it was.
That's not right.
Effectively, that's what Crunchyroll says.
Well, Crunchyroll's fucking wrong.
Okay, but doesn't matter. My point is, it took 3 years. And again, you might say, well, it's 2 cores and the specials. Right. I get that. I understand. But
I know why Crunchyroll's doing that. It's the dub, not the sub.
Thank you, Frank.
You're welcome. Anyways.
Thank you.
Continue.
The only reason I wanted to bring this up was because anytime a series gets as popular as Attack on Titan, honestly, thank goodness My Hero didn't get like this. Otherwise, I honestly think there would have been riots in the street with how psychotic some MHA fans are. But Demon Slayer, Jujutsu Kaisen's doing it to some degree. anytime a series gets incredibly popular, especially in the Western market, keep profiting. Milk it. Stretch it out as long as you can. We're not going to let this cash cow run dry. Like, figure it out. What do you want to do? You want to do 2 core? Easy. You got to figure out more. What can we do more? You want to do 2 different special episodes that are separated by 6 months apart? Sure. You want to split up the cores between the first part of season 4, the second part, over the span of like a year and a half? Go for it. Like, everything about Attack on Titan just set the stage. And I think we even talked about it way back when it aired and when it finally wrapped up. We had been like the hearkeners of what's to come, of like, FYI, this is going to become a formula for other series down the road that have as much popularity as Attack on Titan. Because why in the fuck would they let it end in a nice, methodical manner, right? Why have it wrap up in just a singular season or a 2-part season? Just keep it rolling. Resurrect that bitch. Do everything you can to suck the fans dry for everything they've got. And it's people shouldn't be shocked. That's what a lot of series are doing, and to varying degrees. So I want to start with this argument first, because we talked about it to at length. We'll say in our Chainsaw Man movie spoiler-free episode. You can go listen to it now. Self-plug. We talk about it there, but and you, I think, characterized it perfectly, in that the quote-unquote anime movies that are coming out are like in 4 different buckets. There's the canonical anime movies that you can think of, like Mugen Train or Reze Arc, that are self-contained stories, singular arcs from a series that are just one movie.
Correct.
There's the non-canonical anime movies, like your My
Hero Academias.
All your My Heroes, your Spy Family, White Mission, I think it's called, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Something
and then
like that.
I think no, even I was gonna say even Attack on Titan. I think they had a few like side
There was
stories,
like
but I
OVAs.
think those were those are OVAs, and those are technically canonical to the main world, but not the plot.
Right.
But yeah, no, you're right. Spy Family, My Hero Academia, those type of movies.
Those
where
are
they're just non-canonical side missions, like having fun.
Yep.
Etc.
Yep. You have your anime movies. You think of like Suzume. You think of all the Ghibli films. You think of like those are like your traditional anime films that are either they're an original or from a existing series, but usually it's just a contained movie in itself. There's no accompanying seasons or anything like that. And then you have this final bucket, and this bucket is like this gross amalgamation of the 3, because it tries to be a lot of things, and it does a horrible job at it, because they just slap movie on it and it tricks everyone in the world. And those are your quote unquote anime movies, heavy on the quotes. Think of
I would call it anime premieres, is how I would describe it.
But it's not just premieres. That's why it's an amalgamation. It's some of its premieres, some of its recaps, some of its sneak peeks, some of it's just because you're greedy, aka Demon Slayer. The Demon Slayer Infinity Cast.
Yeah, I was gonna say even Jujutsu Kaisen, what they're doing coming up in December, it's gonna be just the Shibuya incident and then the first 2 episodes of the new arc.
JJK is like the poster child of doing something great and then like doing something shittily like shortly after. Like Jujutsu Kaisen, like Zero, the movie, was awesome because it's one single volume. It's a prequel to everything prior to Yuji and the gang, going to school, right? You get to learn about Yuta and like all the classmates that are the second year sorcerers. Like, it's great, and it's canonical too. But it felt like a movie because it's all contained. It's a contained arc. It's one singular arc. There's a start to it, there's a finish to it, and that's it. And it's great. It was a wonderful watch. I absolutely adore it. But then they do things like the Shibuya incident, where they're like, we're going to show you the last bit of the season you just watched, and then give you a little teaser of the first episode or 2 of the next season. It's like, and we're going to just slap on movie. And just say, this is the Shibuya incident / culling arc movie. And I'm like, it's not a movie. It's not a movie. You're doing a recap and a sneak preview. Dandadan does this. Witch Watch did it. Like Kaguya-sama, like all of them are doing it, and it's just they have to stop calling it a movie.
Kaguya-sama, I would say, was an actual movie because it was a self-contained arc that they made into a movie, and then they just put into episodes after the fact. Because Mugen Train was the same thing. It was a movie that was a specific arc that they then put into episodes.
But that's So we'll classify Kaguya-sama with Mugen Train and the Reze Arc from Chainsaw Man.
Correct.
Because those are the anime movies. Again, I understand why they say movie. Okay, I get it. And these are appropriate.
It's a movie theater. Woo.
Shut up. These ones make sense because they're self-contained arcs, and I think that's the problem I get with a lot of these other quote unquote movies. I hate talking about this, and I'm only going to reference it this one time, right? But when I was younger, growing up, absolutely like many other people, loved Harry Potter. I didn't realize the last movie was a 2-part at the time when it was airing, like back when I was in high school, which was like what the
Oh, interesting.
I can't remember what it was called. I didn't realize at the time when I went to go see the first part, it was 2 parts. And I'm like, this movie sucked. It's like it was like nothing happened. Like what the fuck? And then I was like, it's 2 parts. I'm like, oh. So I gotta wait like another year plus until the next part comes out. It was the same thing I felt like when I went to go see The Hobbit. I absolutely love the Hobbit novel. I went to go see the movie.
Novel.
No, it's short. It's incredibly short. That's why I was like, oh, sweet, Hobbit movie. Like a 2.5 hour film. This will be great. And then I watch it and I'm like, this isn't how it ends. And then they're like, there's 3 of them? They're making 3? There's 3 films for like a book that's like 180 pages? What? Are you kidding me? Like blew my mind. Like I think that's where my gripe is, because when I think movie, I think a contained story from start to finish. You're watching something that has the hero's journey, or some semblance of like call to action with a conflict and a resolution, right? Very simplistic. A lot of these quote movies don't have that because they're built to be multi-part things, either because we determined that it makes the most sense to really capture the art itself, which is the really artsy fartsy, like I'm too
code name for we want money.
Yeah, exactly. Or it's just blatantly like, nah, we did it because it's just gonna be easier to make more money. Like there's some of them that are pretty plainly you can look at and you could go, you just wanted to make more money. Like
I think Attack on Titan was going to be that way until everybody was up in arms about season 4, the part 2 not being the final part, and being like, what the absolute bullshit was that?
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, we need to save face. We'll just put these out.
It's funny too, because when I was talking with Drew about it as well, I mentioned, like, I think by episode 5, you and I had been watching it weekly with each other, and I think we looked at each other and went, this isn't over.
Ending.
This isn't over.
Not ending.
There's going to be something else. They were like, there's no way. There was 3 episodes of them camping, and nothing happened.
I think, real quick aside, I think it was you, me, Cam, potentially Mick, and then I think Tim hopped in for an episode not knowing what the fuck was going on.
Our one friend who had never seen an episode of Attack on Titan jumped in and was like, hey guys, what are you doing? Oh, we're watching an anime? Cool. And we're like, have you seen this? He's like,
Let
nope.
me watch.
We're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, but to bring it back, I understand why Demon Slayer is making the 3 movies, or money movies, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Money.
Both, all of the above. And to me, that it's not necessarily like they want to make money, like then it's a bad movie. Like Chainsaw Man is trying to make money as well, but at the same time, Chainsaw Man's arc made more sense to make into a movie than Demon Slayer's 3 parts, because again, what would have taken probably Demon Slayer 2 seasons probably to get through the last final part, maybe even a season.
A season. With the amount of chapters left, it's a season.
We could stretch it into 2 because of what they did with the fucking Hashira training arc, but a season, maybe 2. We'll call it at that. A season, maybe 2. Like it. I don't even know where I was going with
Given
this.
a lot of the benefit of the doubts.
Yeah, like
I,
it's just like they're taking 7 years now to make these 3 movies or 5
so
years, whatever the fuck it is.
yeah, but
And
and
instead of just ending it.
that's my gripe too, because going back to the classification of these different types of anime films, I don't look at the Demon Slayer Infinity Castle arc movies as movies. I just look them as the final season part 1, the final season part 2, and the final season part 3. They're not movies. I hate people can interpret it any way they want. I get it, okay? It's subjective at the end of the day. There's no real right opinion about one thing or another. Especially when it comes to like arts and film and especially anime, even though people want you to believe that your opinion is usually always wrong.
I mean,
It's
Solo
just
Leveling's the best show last year, duh.
stop. I erase that from my brain. It's
Oh, shit.
part of me just wants to go up to certain people and shake them and just be like, you have to.
Why are you the way you are?
No, you're under a spell. Like you're being manipulated to think that this is good. Like it's pretty, it's wonderful to look at, but by God, it sucks ass. Like if you were to look at Demon Slayer Infinity Castle Arc, the movie part 1, and critically review it and go, oh my God, this is a 10 out of 10. I would challenge you to the bitter end to explain to me how a movie that has no real ending, you had a fight scene that lasted a whole half of the film, which contained 3, if not 4 different flashbacks in the middle of it, and we had, I guess, some progression with like, ooh, we get to see a little bit of Muzan at the end. Oh my God, who would have thunk that he's still alive and about to go kill the rest of the Hashira? Yeah, like, I looked at my wife and I went to go see, we saw both films together. After the Demon Slayer film, I looked at her and she looked at me and I was like, that sucked ass. Like, that just wasn't good.
Yeah.
Like, again, I applaud Ufotable for making something that's very pretty. I applaud the tireless amounts of work that these animators put into what effectively has now counted as 1/3 of the final season. And now you have to replicate that 2 more times to wrap it all up. Kudos, congratulations. I hope you get to see your family 5 years from now because you're going to be trapped in that studio working to the bitter end. Whereas when the Chainsaw Man movie ended, we looked at each other and I was like, that was perfect. Like that was exactly what I wanted plus more. Right? And again, people can complain and be like, well, you read Chainsaw Man, so you know the material, and you didn't read Demon Slayer, so what the fuck do you know? And it's like, I would push back.
I don't have to. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't have to read Demon Slayer to understand what the fuck is about to happen.
Yeah,
it's a shonen series, so it's like some of the side characters may die, but demons are gonna die. There you go. That's what's gonna happen.
And again, I actually think the opposite, because when I went to go see the Reze Arc film, I had high hopes. I had high expectations for this film because I knew the source material and I knew what the story contained and I wanted to see it portrayed to the height that I wish that it could, and it did, and if not went higher than above that in my thoughts. Like I thought the director did an amazing job alongside Fujimoto, because we know that he's been a part of every single project.
Involved.
Yeah. From season 1 to the film to now into season 2, like Fujimoto's there as effectively like a secondary director throughout all this. So he's not going to let it slip up either, but the director did an impeccable job start to finish, just capturing every little bit, the choreography, the choice of music, the sound design, top to bottom was beautiful. And that was my hope, because I'm like, wow, this is a great little adventure we get to go on for 14 chapters in the manga. It's such a far departure from what we've read so far. Like this is wonderful, and it's a wonderful thing to see from Fujimoto too in terms of his level of writing, right? So yeah, I was thoroughly impressed because I went in with high expectations and it exceeded that. Demon Slayer, I came in with no expectations because I hadn't read it. So I'm like, I just want it to deliver something that is enjoyable to watch and I can follow, and it's got a great storyline to get this wrapped up at the end of the Infinity Castle arc. And all it was to me was something that was pretty, and that was it.
Yeah.
Oh, they humanize the demons, and oh, you get to see more
Yeah, they've done
backstory.
it.
And I'm
They've
like,
done it every season.
wow, it's formulaic. They literally did it in season 1. They did it season 2. They did it on Mugen Train, kinda.
So
I'm like,
reel us in. Like, let's talk a little, because we didn't do any really spoiler talks for the Chainsaw Man movie in our review. Let's kind of get into some of the spoilers. Uh, I did mention to you that my one gripe with it was that the music didn't time well. That fight scene with the Typhoon Devil and Reze, I feel like that the music there was not timed well, and it could have been better. I wish it was just more of an orchestral, just like, or metal song made specifically for the movie,
yeah.
rather than using the ending. But yeah, no, I mean, going into it, as you said, like, knowing the source material, having that high expectation that they deliver a product that you're really anticipating, because this is one of my favorite uh arcs of all of Chainsaw Man. I'll really be honest. Like, I think part 2 is, it's growing on me, but it's still not there yet. It's not up to snuff with how I
It's
feel about part 1,
it's
but
so different compared to part 1.
it is. But yeah, this arc being one of my favorites is like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna go in with high expectations, and I feel like they did deliver on a majority of those expectations. And the very ending, emotional payoff of Reze just having that weird feeling of, I should have just gotten on the train, and then just running to Denji and getting stopped at the last second by Makima, and having the whole city mouse and country mouse analogy thrown back at her, like, oh, why do I like country mice? Because they're easy to kill. And it's just like, God, it's just, that whole scene is just such a payoff of just like, fuck, I really, really wish she had just gotten on the train, so maybe one day they can meet again.
Yeah.
But no. But yeah, I like all the little hints that Reze's thrown out there for what's to come in future arcs. I know I just kind of, in our review said that, they left a lot of breadcrumbs, but a lot of those breadcrumbs were left by Reze, let alone some of the other, like, facility members too, that kind of got killed off by Reze as well. Um, I really, really think that, Tatsuki Fujimoto was really in his in his fucking bag with part 1 and how he laid everything out. But yeah, the movie, I think it delivered on the emotional home runs that it was supposed to hit on, with the pool scene and the very end scene as well. But it also opened up with the minor plot point of power and what happens when she drinks too much blood, and completely forgot about that part of the thing. So for
Yeah.
it to open with this comedy gag of, like, these 3 idiots just in an apartment, just drawn over each other, just to have power be like, I've
Like,
got more horns now. It's just like, it was
punch the
really,
living shit out of Denji.
it was a fast start of just like, oh yeah, these are the characters, this is the world, this is what I'm dealing with. And then it's like, okay, let's slow our roll, let's get into our story, and then let's take you on a roller coaster battle for 20 minutes, whatever it was,
And
and bring us home with the emotional payoff of Reze's death.
and we got
Like that, it
introduced
was
to our favorite
so
character
good.
right away. Beam.
Beam. Oh, my favorite character it won't be
Well,
introduced
I
until
know.
next
I
arc.
meant everyone's favorite
But
from the
yes,
movie, because I just keep
that's
seeing
fair.
memes of him everywhere. But
Beam is great.
no,
Angel, I really like Angel, because Angel's just so.
oh, all the girls love Angel. The amount of TikToks and Instagram reels I've seen of girls being like, I would pay thousands of dollars just for that 5-second clip of Angel in lingerie again.
Oh my god. Yeah. No, like, the 2 new, not demons, fiends that they introduce. I mean, they introduce a few more. I think just one other. It was Goggle Eye.
Yeah, Goggle.
Goggly?
Yeah, I can't remember.
The basically the old timey medicine man mask
Which
figure. I forget.
I don't know what fiend He is. He's very, very strong in like martial arts, but I can't remember what he's actually the fiend, because every fiend is
He
a
was he's the violence fiend.
violence. Okay, which is funny for
So
being the old
yeah,
timey
I
doctor,
do also just like his
plague
character because
doctor.
he is the violence fiend, but at the same time, it's just like when it comes to fighting and he's just like by
He's
himself versus
such a
everybody's like, bye everybody, and
yeah.
just fucking dips.
He's like,
Is
whoa,
amazing.
underestimated the power level here. Good day.
Good day to you.
Yeah, one of my
But yeah,
favorite scenes was him and Aki when they're confronting the bomb devil, and he's like, "Wait, hang on." She was like, "Hey, can I put on some clothes?" And he's like, "We should probably let her put on some clothes, man. It's kind of not fair." And Aki's like, "Nah, fuck that." He goes, "Well, you heard him." I just like the
yeah,
idea of him being like, "Oh, we could take a timeout. It's okay."
yeah, no, the three fiends that they introduced in this series or in this movie were fucking phenomenal. I love them. I mean, all four of them at this point, Power, Beam, Goggly, and Angel are great. But yeah, just getting a glimpse of what Angel can do, but without
Yes.
like fully telling you
Yep.
until it's just like the realization of, oh, you just lost 2 months of your life just by holding my hand for 5 seconds is just like, fuck,
Yeah.
that's why people
But
aren't touching him and why he hasn't interacted with people. It's just like, fuck.
in
Okay.
in fairness, Aki already knows his future from the future devil. The
No,
future.
he
Future.
he knows when he's going to die, but he
Yeah.
doesn't know
Yeah,
how.
but it doesn't matter because he knows when he's gonna die. So he's
Yeah.
like, yeah, whatever.
Like,
2 months?
fuck it. I've
2 months. Who
I've got
cares?
2 years. What or 5 years, I
I
think?
think it's 5 years.
5 years, what's taking 2 months off my life?
Yeah, who cares?
So
Uh,
but yeah, I absolutely like the characters that they introduce are phenomenal. Even just like the guy who comes to like kill Reze
the
and Denji when they're in the school,
yeah,
like the guy with the scar across his face, like even that guy was just like
he
he was such a well just like added just like this is a guy not to be trifled with. He is dangerous. And then Reze just fucking takes him out and you're like, "Oh, she's not what we thought potentially."
yeah. He well, everything is I mean, I think we've said it enough in our other episode on this, but everything is like so purposeful. And again, it's 14 chapters. It's a contained arc. Fujimoto's writing is you can complain about this being a Gooner series or whatever the fuck, but like if you really dive deep into Fujimoto's writing, it's superb. Like the level of detail, the way that he's able to draw out the true nature of characters in such subtle ways at times, and then like the big reveal, like the payoff at the end is always something like like worth it for like almost every single character we get introduced to. It's wonderful. But with this character, it's like a subtle reminder too of like how different devils make contracts with people. Because the whole time the Typhoon Devil with him is like he's like talking to him and he's like, so if I go and get this guy's heart, you'll partner up with me, you give me what I want. And the Typhoon Devil's like, yeah, sure, have fun. And then it also is the interactions between different devils where we see the Typhoon Devil and the Bomb Devil Reze like interacting, and the Typhoon Devil's like, oh fuck, I didn't realize you're on this one. Ah shit. Yeah, mixed messages. Sorry, bro. I'll support you though. Like, oops.
I'm a
So
bounce.
yeah, but it's just stuff like that too. I mean, and you know, it's a good reminder for those that have read it or like have forgotten from season 1 too. But it's also like there's purpose and meaning behind it all. My
Yeah.
my biggest takeaways from the film are, and I would have to go back and read the chapters for these very subtle pieces, but it's just the different symbols they use throughout for like Reze and Denji, and then like Denji and Makima. I mean, the main one that I'm sure everyone remembers if you've seen it would be when they're in the pool and it shows like the spider entrapping the butterfly and eating it,
Yeah.
right? And you're like, oh, it's like that's a weird
She's
thing.
got
Like,
him
what
in
is
his
it?
clutches.
Yeah, but you can take it a different way, right? Like you can take it as this is her finally like destroying that what remains of her like innocence too. Like she's becoming who she was trained to be in Russia, right? You can take it as like, is it actually Denji who's the spider because she thought that she could be impervious to any sort of charm, but something clicked with Denji? Like, could it be that? Like, there's a whole bunch of things. Like top level, you'd just be like, oh yeah, she's the spider and she's gonna trap Denji and stuff. But there's just so many layers to it. Same with the ending too, where like she runs back to Denji, and I saw someone make a post about this, and I was like, my emotions. But it was like,
My heart, it hurts.
one of the last
Anyway.
things that she told him was like, why didn't I kill you the first time we met? And then she's going back for some reason. Something's drawing her back. We don't know, right? We have no idea, because she just, what you said, she's at the train station. She doesn't get on the train, and she just starts running back to the cafe, knowing that he's gonna be there, and she never gets to tell him what she's thinking. But we don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know what she's thinking. There's no dialogue in that like last sequence until Makima shows up. So it's just there's so much to it, and I love it.
And I also, the thing that I love about that scene too is like how they basically make the comparison of just how she's happy to go to work the first time we meet her, and how she's kind of like gingerly walking / like skipping / running along, whatever it is, to her job, and then all of a sudden it's the same thing at the very last scene, except it's more of a run
Very
of just
stern.
like I need to.
It's a purposeful
like,
walk, right? Like,
yeah,
like she's doing it with meaning behind it.
Correct. So to begin with, it's like la di da di da. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you to. No, I need you. I need you in my life. You've done something to me that I cannot ignore. What is this feeling? And going back and then just ultimately
so
being the country mouse and getting the axe.
To highlight again the excellence of this director and how they were able to like navigate through this arc and the different scenes, the final sequence of the devil hunting association, whoever they are, like the cleanup crew, right, taking out the bodies of all the people that were killed during the battle, right? And then there's the moment with is it not Kishibe, what's this scarred face guy who's voiced by that.
No, it is Kishibe.
Is it Kishibe? All right, look at me. Yeah. My brain said Kishibe. I was like, or am I thinking of
it's
Rohan?
It's not JoJo.
I was like, is that Rohan Kishibe? Where he's talking with Aki and going about like did you hear the Russian, like that old folk tale, right?
Tale.
About the room, right? And it was like, oh, it's true, by the way. And they would like, the government would trap these kids and would be like a survival of the fittest sort of situation. And like those that survived became weaponized units for Russia. And then it obviously keeps flashing between like Reze, and you're like, oh, that's, learning a little bit more about her. Oh, interesting. We kind of got that from when she's singing a Russian song as she's strangling the murderer. So you're like, okay, you can connect the dots finally. Like you get a little bit more backstory. But so from that point until the very end, so the last sequence with Denji and the flowers with power, okay?
Which, what a scene.
Is one single chapter with 19 pages. To highlight even more so how like captivating the ending sequence is, there are 4 pages of just Reze going from the train station into that alleyway, no dialogue, and then we finally see the mice with Makima. That's 2 pages,
and that's
like
it's such a credit. It's such a credit to Fujimoto though, and his way of being able to paint a picture and paint a scene and paint emotions without words.
Which is it's like reading back through it. It sucks because you're reading it and you like I don't know. I'm sure when I read it, I'm like, okay, we see the same stuff. Oh, there's some mice. Weird. Okay, we get the scene with Makima. And like you just kind of read through it and you're like, oh, it's over. But it's so much more gripping when it's on the screen, and just like you see it sequenced with like the music. It's paced perfectly, right? Like whereas like when you're reading on a manga, like in a manga, you see like one panel with Makima, and then like the next panel you see Reze, right? It's hard not to do a little cheat when you're reading it. But you also you scream through the dialogue, you get through that shit, right? On screen, you're at the mercy of how slow and methodical they want to like deliver these
Yeah.
lines and like sequence everything out. If they want to add a little bit of like different panning shots to make the moment more, captivating for an audience, right? Like that type of detail and how different scenes and sequences were captured, again at the direction of Fujimoto too, it exemplifies his level of writing. Like it brings it to such another level that you
Yeah.
appreciate it so much more when you can see it actually like it on the screen. You see it play out in front of you.
And if you haven't watched Chainsaw Man, you're somehow listening to this still. There is like another really great example of how Fujimoto does this is in his short film / one shot
Oh,
Look Back. If you've not watched,
I'm gonna cry.
oh, I know. Look Back. If you've not watched it or heard of it or seen it, highly recommend it. I believe it's on Amazon Prime. But basically, there is a scene where one of the main characters uh, leaves an encounter that they didn't think was going to go the way it did, and the joy that they feel from that encounter is encapsulated in like 5 to 6 pages of no dialogue but just a girl skipping gradually, but just to a mighty like, oh my god, I am so happy skip, like a child skip, because I mean it is a child for all intents and purposes. So like if you need another example of what we're trying to discuss, it's something similar to that. But yeah, to kind of bring us back to the discussion between the two movies,
Ugh,
um,
I forgot we had to talk
I
about
know
the other
because
one.
we got to talk about the other. Like I think that to really put a pin in it and like bring us home, because there's not really much we can say. We've talked about both as a separate entity. To combine them into one, it's just like, yeah, Demon Slayer. It's 3 parts. It's not a complete series. It's not a complete arc. Just they did their best. I will say they did their best in the sense that they left off on a story beat that was major and conclusive, but it's still like the fight isn't finished. You know that for a
Yeah.
fact, and the viewer knows that for a fact because, they've shown off all these different things and teed up a second movie. So
Yeah.
it's like it felt incomplete. While Chainsaw Man, yes, it's still technically incomplete. This arc is finished, and it left pretty much as it started. It started with Power basically coming onto the like screen with multiple horns and being this loud, vibrant character, to
As she
ending
is.
with Denji just being a depressed blob on a couch in a cafe, with Power busting in being like, I'm here, these flowers for me, wow,
And then
and
he
just
starts eating them.
overtaking and just overtaking everything again and being like, yeah, no, like that was a good definitive end. And to what we described and said in the spoiler free podcast, where people are like, it's a good side story, like honestly though, it is.
Yeah.
It is such a far departure from what we've seen so far and what we're going to get, that this does feel like a side story, that it would feel complete and feel finished, like a finished product.
Mm-hmm.
But we are going to get more Chainsaw Man, and as we are going to get more Demon Slayer. It's just one felt more definitive than the other.
Yeah.
Because again, they didn't set up a second part. They're like, this part is done. Wait for the next thing to come.
You have to. The only way I can enjoy Demon Slayer, and I don't like saying it this way because I do find Demon Slayer entertaining. It's not the greatest, it's not the worst, it's entertaining.
Yeah.
But the way I have to watch these films is with the understanding that this is just an extended season. I've watched part 1 of 3 parts of this season, so I really can't give my full opinion on it. And that's how I have to view it. But when people ask me, what are your thoughts on Demon Slayer Infinity Castle Arc Part 1, the movie, I would tell them 4, maybe 5. Like
I don't
that,
remember
because
what I gave it, but yeah.
that's what it is. Like it's incomplete, right? And that's why I don't consider it a movie. That's why I look at it and I'm like, you have shown us 1/3 of your finale of your final season. I will judge it critically when it all comes out. If you want to have me isolate each one and judge it, fine, but I'm going to give it a score that merits what it delivered to audiences. And in my opinion, it didn't deliver much other than showing one massive fight with a bajillion flashbacks, one tiny fight with a pretty meaningful backstory, but ended in an instant, and then another fight that was kind of a very jarring experience for a lot of people who, have been scarred enough by certain other films in the Demon Slayer family that, that probably came across as quite a surprise. But it did keep the theory going along that every Hashira on the top left of the little poster, you're in trouble.
So I think I did give Demon Slayer Part 1 a 6. I mean, the animation did a lot of the heavy lifting. I do like the story for all intents and purposes, but it is not great still.
It's not...
It's vanilla, but like that vanilla is served on a platinum plate, essentially.
It's
like, that's how I view it. It's a 6. It's not anything better than that.
It's a 5 with an asterisk. It's like, this movie's not over. The movie's not over. But it's frustrating to know that you have to now wait probably 4 to 5 more years for it to be over.
Technically 4. Yeah, they've said that they are going to finish. The last movie will come out in 2027.
Oh, joy. The last movie in 2027?
Yeah, sorry. 2027 is the next movie. 2029 is the last movie.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So 4 years. That's an incredibly long time. So, yeah, this is a great example for when a movie that is taking place in a series canonically makes the most sense. The Chainsaw Man Reze Arc is the perfect encapsulation of what a great in-universe... It's a part of the manga. I swear to God, if I have to correct people on this being a standalone movie or that this is writing at its peak from whoever...
I thought you were going to make a video about that.
I'm going to, but I have to calm myself because my blood pressure is already high and I need to settle myself before I make it because I would pop a blood vessel. Like,
fair enough.
This is I don't want to say epitome because I think there could be better ones, but it's a perfect gold star example of, hey, you can make it work and make it make sense and have it be the perfect segue into your next season, right? Jujutsu Kaisen kind of did that with the movie Zero. It just, obviously they did it in the Star Wars way of we're going to air season 1, then the movie's going to come out and then season 2. So, a little backwards, but it still worked, right? It's a self-contained story. The Reze Arc is a self-contained story, it feels like, although it's a part of the greater Chainsaw Man universe and story that's being told. It's an isolated adventure, as you put it, right? And that's why you can look at it critically and go, yeah, this is a freaking fantastic movie. I love it. I was gonna make mention of one more thing as you were talking, and it has escaped me, but
it's fine.
Yeah, I think that while we're talking very highly about Chainsaw Man, Reze Arc, I do truthfully believe in my heart of hearts that I would rather just see it on streaming. I kind of have that old school mindset of just keep the movies to the movie theater. I don't need to see sneak previews. I'm sorry, I'm not going to pay $20 to go see the first 3 episodes. I'll be patient and watch it over the next 3 weeks because I already pay a fuck ton of money for all my streaming services. I'm definitely not going to see recap movies because that's a waste of my time. Just keep the anime films to your non-canonicals. I loved going to see the My Hero stuff. Those are great. They're not superb films by any means, but they're fun. That's great.
It's solid 7 out of 10 material.
I love going to see Ghibli films in theaters. You could watch it on streaming services. Fuck you. Those are actual films. Those are meant to be in the theater, right?
Yeah. And I saw and to put a final word on this and kind of move us on to end this podcast, there was a thing that I saw today of just somebody saying thank God for the anime movies, saving the box office, because I believe Chainsaw Man made like 60 mil or something like that. I need to look that up.
I think they made 17 million in the U.S. and then overseas has already made like 90 million. So it's over $100 million in like worldwide.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it real fucking quick.
I mean, I just saw the stats like an hour ago. So unless something dramatically has changed.
Yeah, okay, you're right. 17 million in the box office, and somebody was saying like, thank God for anime movies saving the box office, and they go on to say like, oh, with the popularity of like the Demon Slayer movie and Chainsaw Man movie, like maybe we'll see more anime movies in theaters. And I'm like, no, no, this is a trend we don't want to see.
Yeah, no.
However, the traditional anime movies like your Suzume and whatnot, and even coming up in like January or February of next year for the United States, Scarlet, which is Hosoda's newest film, like those on the other hand, those don't, because they don't have an IP behind them, they don't have that background, like prestigious background that people know about, they don't end up doing well in theaters. So like that's why I'm excited, like I go to those as most as I can or best I can, because I know that a it's going to take forever for them to get to a streaming service, because it usually does, unless
Yeah.
it's backed by, you know, an IP like Spy Family was.
Hmm.
And B, it's, if you don't see it in theaters, it's like great, then you have to buy it, and then you have to take the chance of like, will I like this movie? Will I like it for $25? And it's just like, I'm not sure. And yeah, I know the cost of a ticket to go see a movie is $25 at this point in time
It's
in the United States. It's getting more and more expensive. It's
it's
ridiculous, but
outrageous. It's
yeah,
I mean,
it's just one of those things that it's just like I don't want to see this trend continue, but I do want to see more animated movies, because like a few years back I saw the Satoshi Kon's Millennium Actress in theaters, and it was a movie that like I'd always been interested in because I like Satoshi Kon's uh, other titles that he's done, but I knew nothing about this. This is so kind of out of left field for what he normally does. And seeing it, it's one of my favorite films he's ever done. Between that and Perfect Blue, like those two movies to me are absolutely amazing, but people don't know about them because they don't go to see actual anime movies in theaters, which is what like we really need to push for if we want to see more animated movies. I don't want to see more IP animated movies. I want to see more originals.
I I'm hopeful.
But
My only hope from this trend is that more theaters will actually air it, because my the problem I've always had is when these anime films like Suzume and others come out, it's like for a limited release at a select
yeah,
few theaters within a 100-mile radius of me. And it's not conducive to supporting more anime films coming over. It's a lot of it's just you're taking advantage of the what's popular, which I'm not going to fault theaters for doing that. But if you really want to support and encourage like viewers to go see anime films, and a lot of like just even international films too, right? You got to put it out in your theaters more. You have to have more showings. You have to have, it can't be a limited release. Give it like a couple of weeks at least, right? It's got to have time for people to go in and go, "Wow, this is really good." Spark some, trends online, and then get others to go see, right? Demon Slayer already had a massive following. Chainsaw Man already had a good following here too, right? I'm sure the Spy Family movie did well enough as well. I bet no one really even realized the Kobayashi Dragon Maid movie came out like last week or a week and a half ago. I'm sure no one even batted an eye at that, because they're like, huh, what? And it's coming out on like a Tuesday, and that's it? It's just one day? Huh? What? No, I'm good. Right? It just, you have to give it the support and the lifelines to actually grow and become a main staple in theaters. You can't have it just be like a blip on a radar and then, be like, why aren't people going to theaters to see anime films? Well, because you're not showing them for long enough, man. Please, we're begging you. Like, I think Look Back was
yeah,
even for a day or two. And my theater was packed. I'm talking a large theater, no space.
yeah. No, the theater I went to as well. I mean, even for Look Back, I think there were like a couple seats, and
Uh,
they were in the front rows. But for
mm-mm.
this movie in particular, I mean, we both went on a Wednesday, so it was early viewing for us. But even then, it was still nearly sold out, if not sold out,
Ours
that
was
first night.
Yeah, ours was very packed as well. But we had the biggest theater I've ever been in too, and I was shocked at how filled it was. But yeah, I want this to be a good lesson, not a lesson, but hopefully this sends a good message to different theater chains in the US to be like, hey, maybe we should look into this anime shit a little bit more.
Yeah, because this was only showing on 3,000 screens across the United States.
Seems to be getting the kids to come in here. What? You're telling me
Yeah,
no one
and
wants to
not-
go see Tron Ares?
It seems to get the kids in here without destroying the theater. How
Yeah,
about
that too. That too.
But yeah, no, this is so to say, like, I really hope that the thing that becomes a trend from this is actually adapting arcs that fit into a movie rather than adapting arcs that are like, we got to do multiple parts or multiple movies.
The cash cow
So,
parts.
Yeah, like unless you're releasing them all at once, like don't bother. Just do one movie.
Yeah. It helps when you have a creator like Fujimoto, I assume just like a helicopter parent hovering over and being like, wrong, making a movie. They're like, oh,
No kidding.
okay.
And like
then he tries to
helicopter
teleport.
parents. Oh god. Damn it! You fucking ruined my exit.
I had to mention he tries to levitate. He has videos online of him attempting to levitate.
And I'm going to levitate us out of this conversation. Thank you all for joining us this week. We greatly appreciate it. We will be back next week with a brand new episode. But if you want more of us, please follow us on social medias at Bakacopodcast, wherever you get your social media feeds. But until next time.
Oh, wait.
Spark
Quick plug.
fuck.
Sorry.
Fuck.
If
you son of a bitch.
If you're in the Detroit area, this weekend is YumaCon. We'll be presenting on Saturday. So if you are in the area, please come say hi to us. We present for the Anime Inc. from Edo to Otaku Saturday at 3 p.m. at YumaCon in downtown Detroit, Michigan.
Say hi to him, not me. I will not be there. But say hi to him. So until next time, Spark Triumph. We'll see you then.